What's up guys, Phantom here, back with my F1 2020 My Team career mode here, as we are here with Minority as we try to accomplish something Paul Starrard never did with Minority and win a world championship with them, a constructors and a drivers, as we are going to Bahrain. But before we do that, we need to invest in our facilities here, as we will improve the build time in our aero department, as right now we just need to get as much upgrades as we can. We don't really care if they fail, because we just need to get them out as quickly as possible. As you can see here, we have a upgrade coming for each of the three major departments there, as we don't really have anything for durability, as we are closing up to Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri there. As you can see, as we have a new secondary sponsor there, as we have to complete 30 laps during practice, which shouldn't be too hard. As we will look at our finances here, as it's kind of taken a tumble after we bought the upgrade to facilities there, but we will head to the Bahrain there for the qualifying session, as we hopefully have a good one. As we start out here in Q1 with 30 seconds left, as we have not set a flying lap yet, so we need to set one now if we want any chance of getting out of Q1 here, as Bahrain is typically a really good track for me here. As we come through the turn 4 corner here, as we locked up there a little bit, as we come down to the tricky turn 9, turn 10 hairpin there, as this has been historically a very good track, as in 2019 this is where we got our first win in season 2 for Haas. As we will come up to the line here, get some DRS to help us down the straight, as we will come across the line in P14, which is really amazing, as I did not think we'd get out of Q1, as in our Renault Season 4 career mode, it took us 4 episodes to get out of Q1 there, as our teammate Ragunathan is in last. But I'm really happy with that, as I did not think we'd get out of Q1 here, as we are in Q2, even though this is really a really great track, for probably one of my best here, as we have DRS, and really I don't know if it'd be a miracle, but the miracle will not happen because of this. We almost just nailed a wall there, probably, as we would have almost speared off there to the left, but we will come across the line. Definitely won't be quick, as we will easily be last by about half a second there, as it was really a struggle for us, as you can see, as that mistake really cost us, as we will head to the race.
We're here again then, at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris and Sergio Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Raikkonen, Magnussen, the owner-driver, Daniel Kvyat and Antonio Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Latifi, Russell and Mahavir Raghunathan. And now it's time to head down to the track.
As we start on the grid here in P16 behind Magnussen and Raikkonen, as the fly lights are on and they are away, as we get a okay start there. We bogged down there in first gear, but we came back a little bit in the second and third gear here, as we're going to choose the middle, as Raikkonen chooses the inside, and we tap Perez there. We had to get on the brake fully there. Lucky not to lock up there, actually, as they really slowed up there in the middle as we're up into 16th still as we came back on Grosjean there, as we will look up the inside of Raikkonen here as he gives us sun space, which is something new to me, as all of last year I was used to getting squeezed there, as we are going 3 wide here into the S's. Not really looking forward to this, as I'm being very tentative, as I'm just waiting for the AI just to squeeze me here, as I'm getting a lot more space than I'm used to. Last year I got none. I got absolutely none space, as it kind of developed like Australia where nothing happened for a few laps, but Magnussen here has been falling backwards the last few laps here as he's gotten passed by Raikkonen, as we will easily make it past him here into turn 1, as we will outbrake him, and we will actually outbrake ourselves as well, as we had to quickly shift down to first there and try to get the car to turn, as it managed to do that just in time as we are defending off Magnussen, as he'll have to go around the outside as we perfectly align ourselves. He didn't really fancy a chance there as we almost lose the back end there. But as we're coming on to pit this lap, we're coming down as Magnussen's way back, as we got absolutely shunted there at turn 1 there, and Magnussen really came back, and we didn't even break there. We maybe broke a meter or two early, but you could see like he's a couple meters back, and then he just immediately just accelerates for some reason the braking zone, as he just kind of shoved it up the inside there, as we are not too happy with that move. We're going to try our own desperation move, as that does not work there, as we will have to be relegated back to 14th place there. As you can see, this was never ever going to work, as he just kindly just swept back up the inside there, as we are coming into the pits at the end of this lap, as well as Magnussen here, as we kind of use him to test where the pit limit is, as we are coming into the pits, as hopefully we can jump him, as we don't get jumped ourselves by the cars behind us here, as there's Magnussen, as we are the last row, as we are a new team. As we come out right behind Raikkonen, as we were kind of inside there Magnussen, but crucially we have jumped him. As we come on to the next lap here, we are going to retake all the cars that were behind us that did not pit, including our teammate Ragunathan, as we come down to turn 1, as Kvyat has actually jumped Magnussen, as now the AlphaTauri, who's been held up by the group behind them, has been released on us, as we outbreak ourselves, as we have to try to put a desperate defense up quickly, as he was nowhere near us. We just kind of outbroke ourselves there, as we're going to have to go to the inside and be really defensive here, as he has no room to go, as we kind of squeeze him out there on the apex there. As we come on to lap 12 here, as once again Kvyat will make another look at us as we go again. Once again, I think Magnussen has scared us into braking so much deeper than the car actually has the ability to. As you can see, the car is now just fighting us, as this one was kind of our fault. We got on the curb, but the car is just fighting us now. We have no grip in the medium tires. They're we're just squirming on them, as Kvyat's having no problem keeping up with us, as we have to look a little bit defensive there. And once again we get dive-bombed by Kvyat there, as he's very impatient there, as all he had to do was wait for this straight and he would be easily past us, even though he is now. He was very reckless there, as we are going to look once again up the inside there, as we're going to break almost into a full hairpin, basically how shallow we went into the corner there. But we are back up the inside of Kvyat as we come to the hairpin here at turn 10, as it is news to us that Hamilton, who's so far out, he was in first place there ahead of Bottas, has lost the lead because his car has given up on him, as it looks like the Ferrari of Vettel will take that position, as we are now up to 14th here, as that is, we're in the nosebleeds basically, how high we are up, as Kvyat will make a kind of a faint-hearted attack on us. He kind of spent most of the braking zone behind us and popped out at the last second here. As we come into the hairpin, he tries to go around the outside there, as that would never work, as the group behind us has actually caught up and Giovinazzi has passed him, as Bottas has won the race and Leclerc has set the fastest lap of the race, as we were kind of a little bit short there on fuel, as we kind of had to get some lean mix with the gap we were grateful for, as we will come home in 14th position.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Excellent performance at the Grand Prix. I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team. And they certainly deserve it. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation today, and I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.